All right, everybody, we are back, Mad Apple Extreme, with another match here. We got Chung taking on Moritz Neuhausen, the Rack's runner-up. And in the booth with me is Sim and Darren Dynamite Appleton. What's going on, guys?
Hey everybody, yep, Del Sim here, watching this match with Moritz and Chung, who I've watched on the last stream as well, and happy to have Darren with me in the booth.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm very happy to be here, and we've got two young guns, well, I won't say Chung's an up-and-coming player, but he's a very established, but Moritz, the new kid on the scene.
Yeah, last month and a half, he's really blown the scene up, isn't he? I mean, all this year, twice World Junior Champion, now travelling as a professional. I think he's got a lot to offer. He seems to be the full package. What do you think, Daz?
Definitely. I remember watching him a couple of years ago. I think he beat Carl Boys at the World 9-Ball Championships about 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, I'm going to have to rub that one in.
Yep. Might have been Carl's last tournament. So I think Moritz might have actually retired Carl, finally, officially.
I really hope he's listening.
Yeah, he might be. Probably on the train to Atlantic City. But and I think that's when I really took notice of Moritz, and he's gone from strength to strength, and recently got to the final of the Racks tournament last week. Should have won that tournament. Really.
Heartbreaker, wasn't it? That's the last two now. He's been up 8-2 and lost 11-10.
But that'd just make him stronger because he's young. Good experience for him. Sometimes losses like that will help you when you're young. Just you learn more by losing than you do winning.
I think he plays all games well. You know, he's an avid straight pool player. Plays one pocket, which is not uncommon for a 19-year-old from Germany.
Yeah, and it helps that he hangs around with Joshua Filler. They're best friends, so he's going to learn all the games, one pocket, bank pull. So I'm guessing you might see him at the Derby City Classic next year.
Definitely, yeah. That'll be one for him. Who's a favourite, do you think, based on establishment?
Just on experience alone, I'd have to say Co.
Okay.
But if we're talking on form, then I think Moritz. So it's a tough one. I think it's at this moment in time, you'd probably say Moritz on form.
Definitely.
But, to bet and think against Chung is very difficult. I haven't seen either of them playing this tournament, so I'm not too sure how they've played.
Yeah, Baby Co's been playing unbelievable. He just has that beautiful smooth stroke. The timing and everything is perfect.
Yeah, he's gone quietly through the tournament. It's the first time I've noticed him here this week, so that means he's been very comfortable.
Yeah, I think he actually went on. Was he on the loss side? I don't know if someone's got the bracket up, but maybe we could check, see if he did use one of his 2 lives, getting through to the last 16. We are in the quarterfinals right now.
No, I believe he come through the winners because I would have seen him on the losers bracket. That's where I was.
How was the conditions out there, mate?
Yeah, the tables are playing great. My only slight criticism is that the pockets are too big.
Right.
But that's just because we're brand new tables. Obviously got the slide. But in general, I mean, the tables do play beautiful. And it's amazing how far Razon have come when I think a Razon 10 years ago, where the tables, to be honest, were garbage. But they've just massively improved them. And that was really because the likes of myself and Jason, we were sponsored by Razon from a very early stage of their infancy, and they kept asking us for feedback all the time.
Yeah.
So that was the main reason why they got the likes of me and Jason on board, to give them as much feedback as possible, and they listened.
I think you need that, though. It's the same reason Diamond was successful in the early stages.
Definitely.
It was a player feedback table.
And that's what you got to do, I think, with any product, I think.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if the players give it good reviews, then people are going to buy it.
100%. All right.
So I just double-checked. He did come through the winner's side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he is playing well. He reminds me of Adam Shaw. Remember Adam? Kind of has the same. He's like has the same demeanor as him.
Yeah, that's a name from the past.
Yeah, won one of the GB9s, didn't he?
Yeah.
Tier 1 back in the day.
He played a bad shot there. He didn't want to hit the 6 with a cue ball, but he did, and he's left Moritz the first opportunity.
Yeah, and this is where he's just been eating up his opponents. He's been feeding off their mistakes. Doesn't make many himself. Also a good decision maker. Makes the right call. knows when to take his foot off the gas a bit.
Yeah, the good. I think the strong part of his game for someone so young is that he has really good cue ball control.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see him having to take long shots and pull out these massive shots just because his cue ball's so good.
But he has a power when he needs it, though.
Yeah, definitely, and he's got that in his locker also.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Got a slight angle on the 5 here.
Yeah, I don't see too
thought it
many
was
problems.
okay. Yeah, just enough to hold it. It should be straightforward from here.
He's switching hands too, so another ambidextrous player.
Yeah, that's a big benefit if you can do that. That's something I always never really tried to practice, really, and I sort of regret it.
I think for the snooker fans, Ronnie O'Sullivan made it more famous than what it is, and then I think younger players started to practice with the left hand,
Yeah,
or the opposite hand.
well, in pool, it's always been there. I'm guessing because in American pool, most of the players are useless with a bridge.
Right.
So they're just they've learned to play with their opposite hand.
Or behind the back. You never see that, would you?
Yeah, like Bustamante.
Yeah. But Coe's actually baby Coe. He's unbelievable with his left hand too. His opposite. He played a really good shot in his last match.
Yeah, I think every player I've seen is okay with their opposite hand except for me. I'm not so good with my strong hand at the moment, but yeah, it's unbelievable how a lot of these guys can break and run with their opposite hand.
Yeah, but you didn't need to during your dominant side because cue ball was too good.
Yeah, my cue ball was decent, but also I was pretty good with the bridge. In the UK, we call it a rest, just because I did play a little bit of snooker.
Yeah,
and so yeah, I guess that's the Brits are usually pretty strong with a rake bridge.
The rake. I like the rake. I prefer that as a name. Give me the rake.
We've got a nice crowd here. When I walked in about an hour ago, I thought, wow. Good atmosphere.
Yeah,
Had a great match with Billy Thorpe and Lung Chang from Chinese Taipei. I think he was up 9-2. Billy got back to 9-8, and Lung managed to fall over the line. He's bet the 9. Here we go.
Oh my God, golden break, guys.
I got kicked.
Definitely got kicked in there. I don't see a replay.
Yeah, that's the thing. What hurts it? It's my pet 8, that 9 ball on the break. I ate it. I'm not going to lie.
It shouldn't count in the bottom 2, I don't think.
Yeah.
If it's going to count on the break, just do the last. I mean, it got cut in.
For me, just because you get respotted full stop, but everyone's different. Some people love it, some people hate it.
I get it for its entertainment value, right? For the layman, they want to, and the cheering aspect of it, right? But for a player, because you're such a deep-rooted player, you hate to be sat in the chair and lose it right like that, don't you? He hasn't really earned it.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I know there's a way to break on, with this break rule, there's a way to break. And some guys are great at getting that cue ball to go back into the stack, so they give themselves the opportunity to make the 9 on the break.
Yeah.
Like Ruaz, in my opinion, is the best at this break.
Catch is good too.
Catch is great. It's Shane, all these guys. So there's definitely a skill to the break, but how the balls land after the break for me is just pure luck.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they are being pushed around. They're being. I mean, look at that again. Do you think this break format could be adapted?
I don't know really.
Or do you think that after time, the pro players are just going to get used to a break anyway? They're going to figure it out, right?
I just don't like the 9 on the break because it's happening too frequent. That's the only thing I'm up against it.
Yeah, it's my favourite bet on the side.
Because, if you look at the table now, he isn't going to run out here, or if he does, it's going to be a great run out, right? So, this is what I like about it, where compared to before when we played the 1 on the spot and you was guaranteed the ball on the break and you can control the cue ball, I mean, that was too easy at this level. So, for this reason, I like the break because you get more play, or you should get more play, unless you're very unlucky, like the guy what lost to Shane 10-0, Levan this morning. Just very unfortunate that he happened to be the guy what's back on the back of a 10-0 defeat, and Levan might have been the best player in the tournament, but we will never know, right? Just the way the game is. He might be thinking he could have won this tournament, but he just didn't get to show his skills, and that's just unfortunate. That's pull. It happens.
It does.
But more times than not, you're going to get your opportunities at the table with this break format. This is a great shot here. If he doesn't make the 4th,
doesn't want to make it,
and he's okay.
I was going to ask you just before. I didn't want to interrupt, but how would you have played for a bank there to break out the 6?
Possibly, but he'll have had to get quite high
on
for the
it,
bank,
right?
just because the 4 ball, the pink 4, was frozen to the rail, so it makes it a lot difficult. and then he'll have had to bump into the 6 and 7, and he wasn't guaranteed shape on the 5. So I'm guessing that's why he's played the safety. He's played it very well, but it is kickable.
He can use the same line that he saw the 4 go on.
Yeah, the hard thing is that the first
Wow, what a
played it
shot.
great.
What
Wow,
a
what a
shot.
shot.
He's made it.
Wow.
God.
I mean, if that ball's over the pocket, it's a standard 2-rail kick from most of the top pros, but he had to hit that cue ball on the right-hand side of the pocket as we look.
And
So-
avoid the 5.
So that made it a great shot.
Yeah,
And
nicely done.
He might punch him behind the 7 and the 6 here.
I wonder if he plays a 2-way, and tries to sort of break up the 4, break up the 6-7, as well as play the bank
No, I don't think so. Because even if he breaks it, he's not going to get an open shot, is he?
using the 9 instead.
Yeah,
Smart.
just keeping it simple.
I like your shot.
Yeah, I liked the shot because he could have broke it up and just slightly and
Yeah.
got the 5 up table as well.
Yeah.
Where this is pretty standard. They probably jumped this, Yeah. So this is standard for these guys. It's just amazing how good they jump.
Yeah.
And
this,
the equipment helps that, especially
this
this.
propel cue is about 14 millimeters at the tip. It's insane. I think that's too fat.
And this Q-Tech does jump very easy. This Q-Tech jump cue. I don't. What's the name of the jump cue, Dale?
The Q-Tech propel.
All right.
Yeah. He was signed up this year, I think. You notice he kept the back on too. That's how good these things jump. Look at that.
It's like that. That's like a normal shot for him, I think.
That's what I'm saying. They practice it like they practice the break.
Like me, I'm just worried about getting over the 9 ball there.
He's just worried about the 9 ball.
Just make contact.
He's also quite tall, mate. You're
It's
not the
unbelievable.
tallest, pal.
Well,
are you?
these guys practice their jumps probably an hour a day. I mean, no one ever did that before.
Does he spin off the rail here? Hit rail first?
Yeah, he might play rail first, try and get behind the 9.
Yeah, I like this shot. Very underutilized, I think.
It's a bit too thin.
too thin, yeah. Would have got by the 9 normally.
And he's left the bank.
Yeah, the bank's on.
Got to be careful. These rails are playing short because I missed a couple like this yesterday, short. So you've got to tell yourself just to hit it a little bit wider.
Yeah,
And he did.
Wow. How good's co-playing? My God.
Yeah, and it's a big rack even though it's early in the match. 2-1 and 3-0s at this level is quite big.
Yeah, it's huge.
I'm happy with my match yesterday. I should have gone up 3-0. I didn't. And ends up costing me the match, really.
Yeah, it's tough, mate. I mean, it's a very tough field anyway.
Yeah, that's why you can't. You got to get, when you've got them early stages of these matches are very important. If you can get off to a good lead, like 3-0, it makes a huge difference, especially in these races.
Yeah, 100%.
But 2-1, and then the guy breaks and runs, it's 2-2, and then you're back to square one.
Yeah, just a reminder on the rules, it is single elimination. So from this last 16, there's a 30-second shot clock as well, being managed by the referee. You can see there, they've enclosed the arena for this final 4 table. Set up.
Yeah, got quite a big crowd. I'd probably say there's a good 100 people here for sure, maybe more.
Yeah, I think they're at capacity. They've been turning people away at the door.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful with the fire code around here.
Yeah, I noticed when I arrived in the car, I couldn't get in the car park, so I had to park at Wendy's. Nice plug for them.
It helps that they're close, doesn't it?
I saw Chris Mellon next door.
How comes he's not over?
He's next door at Wendy's.
You're just a different table.
I think he's actually flying today. He had an exhibition last night in Cardiff.
Oh, okay.
I was getting an extra bit of pocket money. Yeah, I think he arrives today
Fair enough.
for the US Open.
Is he going straight there, is he?
Yeah, I think most players fly to Philadelphia, don't they? And they get the train
Mm-hmm.
or hire a car. It's about an hour from Philadelphia Airport.
I've noticed that Coe's been putting the brake a little bit wider.
Yep.
He's going right to the edge of the box. You want to tell people why they do that? Is he trying to shorten it or widen it?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is they're not hitting them that hard. That's the first thing I do notice. And what they're playing like a delayed draw.
Right.
When they're breaking, they're accelerating through the cue ball and they're really letting their cue follow through and hold out there longer instead of just snapping or punching the break. which a lot of us can have the tendency to do, where you just hit the break or punch it. These guys are just softly drawing through the ball and accelerating through the cue ball that little bit longer. And it seems to just get that delayed draw on the cue ball. So that's why you're seeing the cue ball arc back into the stack. So it's quite difficult. I've been trying to practice it a lot lately, and I still haven't got it down. Where you watch Francisco Ruiz do this break, it's just unbelievable.
He's so consistent, isn't he?
He gets that cue ball to arc every time, and it's coming off the same spot off the rail. I mean, that's so hard to do. It's unbelievable. Well, he played it great there, Chung, and he was very unfortunate with a leave. And this just to show you how good they are with the jump cue. I mean, I won't even contemplate playing that jump shot there. That's after the break.
Yeah, he's
I
not
mean, he
even
had so
thinking
many
about-
options there to push out,
Yeah,
and he decides to jump it as if he's like he played it as if he's
supposed to make
supposed to make it. I mean, he's lost the game because of it. I mean, I would never play that shot.
not in a million years, eh? But that's the development in the game, like you were talking about. It's a different style now.
Yeah, that's the new generation.
Yeah,
You got to change your style of play a little bit. I guess it's like most sports, really. You got to go with the what's happening right now.
very few grinders left in the game, isn't there?
It's because of the equipment. I think I put it down to the equipment. Because the jump shot, the equipment for the jump cues and the break cues are so much better. The balls are better. The cloths are better. So
It's
it's
a
just a
faster
different
game.
style of play now.
It's a faster, more aggressive game, isn't it?
And they're all technically better now because, obviously, in general, the pockets are smaller than what they've ever been. Where back in the old days, they play on 5-inch pockets with those thick cloths, dirty balls, and the equipment was not as good. So it was just a different style of game.
You required a stroke, didn't you?
Yep, and they had like a windy stroke, like a Buster Mighty style stroke, where now it's just completely changed. It's just they're all like robots now.
Yeah, I have to agree. And I think that Moritz has got the benefit of both. I think he has the good fundamental, but also understands, I think, American pool for its physics.
Big time. I mean, just watch him play. Look at his stroke. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a good stroke to teach the young kids. Like, look at it. It's just everything's perfect. His hand position from the cue ball's perfect.
Yeah.
And he's going through smoothly. There's no movement, and that's the key. You're always looking for that movement. Is it that shoulder drop,
Yeah.
or the head lifting before you hit the ball? And we've all been guilty of that, but with him, it's very limited.
Yeah, and you got to say the same with Filler. That's why Filler has so much success, because his mechanic is so good.
Yeah, we could be looking at the two players from Germany. I mean, Joshua and Moritz, in years to come, been a big dominant force in the likes of the World Cup of Pool, the World Team Championships and stuff like that, where there's two players and a woman. And if you got his wife, who's improving all the time also, Pia.
Yeah, she just won a big championship, didn't they? They both won the same, ladies and men's.
No, she lost in the semi-finals.
Oh, was it lost? Okay.
But yeah, still a great result.
Hell of a
She's getting there, you know what I mean? She's getting up there with the best players in the world. You'd have to say she's top 8 player in the world now. So that's we all know how strong the Asian girls are.
Yeah, definitely.
And the likes of Kelly, they're going nowhere.
But it's like you said, she's being coached. She's got a great setup where she is.
Unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, you get to practice with Joshua Filler, who, in my opinion, since Ephraim Reyes and Strickland, is the best rotation player I've ever seen.
Remember, you kind of guided him a bit.
Yeah,
early in his
I got
career,
him to the World Pool Series very quickly.
Yeah, I remember that over here in Steinway, right?
Yeah, I wish I kept hold of him.
Yeah, that's right. And you see where he's gone from just strength to strength, don't you?
Unbelievable. Yeah, I might not have. He probably is the best straight ball, best rotation player I've
You
ever
know what I
seen.
love too is he has the character. He loves
Oh, he's got it.
he plays the part of the villain, but off the table
yeah.
he's nothing like that. So he
I
has a
love
good-
him. I love him. I think I just love his character, the way he plays the game, his stroke, his confidence, how good he is under pressure.
So aggressive.
I mean, who are you going to pick over him to play that spot shot for you if you've got to save your life? There's no one
It's true.
in history, in my
I
opinion.
might pick Moritz now, though. Tell you that.
Well, yeah, but he's got to prove it. You still need to. Can he really do it under that big spotlight? It's like Fedor, as great as what he is. He still needs to do it on that big stage for me. I'm convinced he will do, but he's still got to win those big matchroom events before I put him in the same category as Filler and Francisco.
Did he win the World 9 Ball at all?
Yeah, it was when it was in a
When it
pool
was,
room in Qatar,
Qatar, right?
where No disrespect, but it wasn't the first few years in Qatar.
Empty stadium, right? Empty arena.
No, but it was a good production back then. All the tables were streamed. There was, even though the arena was like a 5,000-6,000 seater arena, but there might be 700 people there, so it felt empty. It looks empty, but it was actually a good tournament in the early days. And then the last couple of years, they had it in the pool room, which is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
For a world championship, no disrespect to the pool rooms out there, but to have a world championship in a pool room is a bit tatty, let's say.
Flawed.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's, even though it's a great title to win and there's a lot of pressure, don't get me wrong, but doing it in that big matchroom arena, like the US Open, for example.
Wow. Wow.
Or the World Masters, and that's the big test.
You got a bit lucky there. You hit that one bad.
Yep.
But I agree with you on that front. There's a few people saying that he shoots like Fedor, only faster. I think Fedor can kind of get caught up in his own mechanics sometimes.
Yeah.
Could almost be too perfect, or try and be too perfect.
He reminds me of a young Johnny Archer, this Fedor. I mean, I have no doubt he's going to be multiple world champion. He's going to win US Opens. But until you actually do it, I mean, he has done it, obviously won a world championship. So I'm not discrediting his title.
No, of course.
It's just the setting. It's just a setting for me. Like, he still hasn't played a Mosconi Cup with a crowd yet.
Right.
So we'll find out probably this year how he deals with that. Where we saw with Francisco last year, he didn't play amazing in the Mosconi.
Right.
But he didn't play terrible either. But this year will be his big test to see how he handles the Mosconi.
I think people are expecting big things from Moritz every time he steps into the room now.
Oh, this kid, yeah.
Yeah, you just kind of like, switching it up on this guy. And I know we're more like a podcast right now than a match commentary, but it's good to hear from people like Darren that dominated an era and has been, world champion, has been, Masters champion, multiple titles over the years.
Yeah, Moritz he's got everything going on for him, really. And he's a good kid, good attitude.
Very mature.
Very well spoken, actually. His English is really good.
Yeah, it's another credit to the Germans that they learn business English from a very young age as part of their schooling.
Yeah, and he steps into the shot every time, more or less consistently, does the same routine over and over again. So yeah, a lot of people can learn from Moritz's his setup and his stroke.
He's relentless as well. When he gets in front, he very rarely takes his foot off the gas in it, and I don't think he does anything stupid. I think he makes the game look very simple. That was probably the worst error he's made so far in the match.
Yeah,
got away with it, obviously, but
he's just going to keep gaining confidence all the time. Obviously, he's young. He's still probably at times where he's probably a little bit shaky and everything else, but with experience and wins, you just gain more confidence, and then that helps you under pressure.
Seems to control it well, doesn't he? Like you said, he's a gentleman off the table. Talks to everybody, old, young, signs autographs.
Yeah, and he's good looking as well, so that's going to help him.
Well, with the ladies.
Well,
that might hinder him,
not
actually.
Not just ladies, but sponsorship. I was thinking more on the sponsorship side, but obviously Dell's British. He's
yeah, we're a bad bunch. Doesn't hurt to have a decent visage, mate, does it?
Yeah, someone put, I think Fedor wish he shot like Moritz. I think Fedor does shoot like Moritz. It's just a different style.
Yeah, very much so.
I don't think anyone shoots much better than Fedor, if anybody.
Would you say the competition is more difficult in this era than it's been in previous years or decades?
There's more better players.
Yeah.
Where before, I mean, when I was successful, I'd probably say, I looked at a field and I thought there's probably 15, 20 players. Right. Where now I look at the field, I think there's 30, 40, 50.
Yeah, that could all compete.
I think there's 60 players who can beat anybody on the day right now.
That for me is just an insane stat.
So, yeah, you got your consistent players like Filler and Ruiz and Shane, all those guys. There's probably 10 of them. There's probably 10 guys where you think, well, yeah, they're probably finishing the top 16 of virtually every tournament.
Right.
But then there's another 50 guys who can beat anybody on a one-off match. For example, like a Chris Mellin or...
as an exhibition player type style,
No, I mean, it's just that if you go into a match with Shane Van Boening, if your game's right and everything rolls for you at that particular time, you can win. But the problem is that can you beat Shane Van Boening? Then can you beat Francisco Ruiz in the next round and then beat Fedor in the round after that? That's the problem. So in a one-off match right now,
Odds are all
there's
over the
50,
place.
60
aren't they?
guys who can beat each other, but there's only like about 10 or 12 guys, in my opinion, who can win it back to back to back matches.
Interesting that
And that's the difference, really.
I fully agree with you there, mate, and that's why I kind of asked the question, because I think there's so much talent on the tour right now, and the opportunity is there for them to earn money and to be a professional in this game. So interesting that Coe took a break there, quite early on in the match.
Yep.
He kind of might. Do you think he's trying to take Moritz out of rhythm?
Oh, definitely. Just his brother did it against me. I was 5-1 down against CueLee's. I got back to 5-5. He took a break, but he took it at the right time.
They look too innocent though to pull a little tactical.
Well, it's not a
timeout.
move. It's a tactical timeout, which is allowed. So you got to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
And
it's
obviously,
true.
you want to break up play, don't you?
course.
Once you lose the momentum.
And you only get one timeout, right? Is it just one?
Yeah, I think so. And momentum's massive at this level.
Of course.
Because Chung knows that if he wins the next rack, he's breaking. It's 4-2 and he's breaking. It's game on again.
I mean, look at that. It didn't look difficult, but playing that with your opposite hand
Yeah,
and then
that's
getting
unbelievable.
perfect, Whereas if me and you would be playing with the rest,
Yeah, it makes you feel sick, really.
it does, doesn't it?
I think I need to be 20 years younger again and restart. Let's relearn myself.
Restart, new eyes, new legs, new heart, everything.
Well, I've got a newish heart.
I knew it. Thought you'd like that
I just
one.
hope this one holds up like it did 10 years ago.
I had to get one heart joke in there, mate. Only because you're still breathing. Just don't die on me, all right?
Only just. It's helped.
It's helped.
It's getting some help. And that's all the I take playing this game.
Yeah, we are down to the quarterfinal stages, guys. So Jason is out, lost the last match. So we're going to go through fairly quickly. I think the final's actually tabled for 8 p.m. this evening.
Race to 10.
Yeah, race to 10 right now. Final will be race to 13.
Like that shot there is a great example of staying down on the shot, because those little half ball cuts, they're very missable if you jump up.
Yeah.
Or any movement. So just keeping still on the shots, on those type of shots, will really help you.
It's got a bit funny here, though. He's going to have to stretch. I wonder if he's just gone to get his extension.
Well, I'm surprised not using his opposite hand.
Right, as good as he's been playing with
Because
it.
he did play the previous one very similar to this. He's put
Yeah.
the extension on.
Yeah, it feels like he can just lean over.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and he's quite tall. I'm
Yeah,
guessing he's still got growing pains. Look at this.
Oh, I nearly missed it. Yeah, he's 6 feet. I think he's around about the 6 foot mark. Or just under.
Yeah, slightly overcut that ball.
Yeah, he's still. I mean, it's actually helped him, isn't it?
Yeah, but
He's
next week he
more
wouldn't get
angle.
away with it. So we'll have to bear down. But it is easy to be a little bit lazy on some shots when
Agreed.
the pockets are playing generous. Where in about 3 or 4 days, these tables will tighten up just because they'll have been played in, and then I think they'll play perfect.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, Shane says he feels like he's playing on a bar box.
Yeah.
And you see him playing. He had that 7-pack.
Yeah,
and
the way he's
9 break.
playing, he looks like a bar box, yeah.
But,
To me, it looks like a snooker table.
12 feet long.
Everything
That Teng's played
looks
well, though. Teng's come back on him by the looks of it, if we're just looking at the scores.
Oh, yeah.
He's only 4-3 up, so he hasn't really dominated like he has with other
It's
players.
like Mario. I didn't realise he was here. I didn't realise Mario was here, and he's in the quarterfinal. That's unbelievable.
How do you not see him?
It's unbelievable. So, yeah, 2-2 against Neuhausen. He's having a good tournament. He's playing well. He's beat a lot of great players in this tournament, Neuhausen. And
Yeah.
Raga just doing his thing. Raga just burst onto the scene in America. But for you guys what didn't know him, I've known him a long time. And the talent has always been there. He just hasn't been able to travel until now, really.
Until recently, yeah. There's a few like that in the Philippines,
Yeah.
aren't there, that just
Well-
don't get visas or back in.
Well, there's one in the Philippines, and they reckon he's the best out of a lot of them. And nobody's seen him yet.
What's his name?
I don't know. I can't remember his name because I've got short-term memory loss, but I will find out.
Yeah, it scares me. It scares
yeah.
me how good some of those guys are. When Raga just burst onto the scene and he's now number 2 in the Fargo rating.
Yeah, there'd be someone watching, I'm sure, who knows who I'm talking about, and they're raving about this guy in the Philippines. He's only young, like 18,
Oh, really?
and they all reckon he's the best player over there, including Raga and all these guys. So if someone's got his name, just pop it on the chat. It's quite one of them names what's not easy to pronounce, so I'm not even going to try.
You'll know it when you see it, though, right?
Yeah, I know it when I see it. And it's like Raga, and he's like, yeah, he's a funny little character. He's got a personality,
Yeah, he is.
and he wants to win so badly.
Yeah, if Raga gets sponsored, there's no reason why he shouldn't.
You see that soft draw? It's slightly. You've got to tell yourself to overcut the break, which is very hard to do, I think.
Yeah, because you
but
don't
that's
want to
what they're
slide
doing.
past it, do you? You don't.
Yeah.
I mean, if you hit the break too thin, you lose that cue ball.
But what I've told myself after this tournament is that no matter what, make sure you make the one ball on the break, and then just keep control of the table. You can't be giving up the table like I
Right.
have this tournament. Really, you
See-
can't be coming up dry on this break.
How often in your day did you push into a jump?
Very rare, really.
Very rare, right?
Depends who you're playing against, don't it? I mean, if you're playing against Efren, you might push into an easy jump, right? Just put it behind the 9 ball, for example.
Because that's what I've noticed they've started to do
Look
a
at
lot
this here.
more. He's pushing into a jump, see?
No, the thing.
Or even a half ball, maybe. He's left it.
Yeah, I
but
mean, it depends who your opponent is. So when people say you don't play the opponent, I think that's nonsense.
of course you do.
Because when the balls are open, you play against yourself. You're running the rack. But in these situations, you're definitely playing your opponent. You got to figure out their strengths or weaknesses, or try and figure out their strengths and weaknesses while you're playing against them.
Shots that they're refusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
obviously,
agree.
I've played these guys so many times. I sort of know what their strengths and weaknesses are. So if I'm going to play into a jump, I really think about who I'm playing against.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to do it against someone that's just going to whip out the cue straight away, do you?
Yeah, or if you're playing against a great shot maker, and then you think, right, do I really want to leave them this long shot? But then if you're playing someone who's not a great shooter, then you might dangle them the carrot. So there's all sorts of aspects
Yeah.
to consider when you're jumping or playing safe. Like it is. I mean, surely he's got to put him back.
Yeah, this is too tough. You're putting into a blind pocket. Yes, it does afford some advantage if he makes it, but got to make a hell of a shot, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know how much you can see of this 2 ball. He might even go for it.
I think he has to. Is he just thinning
Or
off it?
overcut it and come around the back of the 3 and try and get behind the 9, just like this. So, yeah, he's played it perfect. Wow, what a shot.
Jesus.
That might be the shot of the match so far for me.
Yeah, definitely. He's left an edge, though.
Has he?
Or a small jump edge.
Don't think he's quite got an edge, unless he massaged it a little bit. But he's got straight for his jump cue. There's no hesitation.
No, that's what we're
It's
just
like-
talking about.
He's like to walk around with their jump cue in the back pocket these days. I mean, that's a really good shot.
That was a really good call as well.
And he's a little unlucky that the 2 ball kissed the 4.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably
this is-
70% to make it, isn't he?
I don't know. You're risking missing it. That's the problem.
And the 9's
That's
moving.
why
9's moving. 9's moving.
Wow, look at this.
Oh, look at this.
No.
Oh. If that goes, you're sick as a dog.
Well, if that 9 ball was closer to the pocket, he might have considered trying to attack it here as a 2-way shot. But I think there might be a gap here, between the
There is
8
a
and the
gap.
6, which
Yeah,
is
you
incredible.
can see it on
really.
this one.
It's not easy, but
It looks like it goes.
yeah,
I think he's not going to attack the 9. He's just going to play the shot.
yeah. And I knew it wasn't easy, but he's been a little bit fortunate there, to be honest.
Very fortunate, I think.
Well, he's done well to not double kiss that 8 ball, really.
Yeah, how's that not got? That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It looked like it hit it fat, didn't it?
So this is really the game ball. If he gets decent shape on the pink 4,
Has he got to dig it, or do you think you can roll it around?
it looks like he's rolling it.
Yeah, he
Played
had
it well.
enough.
Plays those shots good.
Wow. Another one. I think it's a little bit fortunate, but
Yeah, I'm very surprised that he didn't double kiss the 8 ball here.
I didn't think it would drop, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
look.
the 8 ball was just off the rail a little bit. That helped him. He can really get into the cue ball here. He might play for the 5 into the 9 pocket.
There you go, mate. Kyle Amoroto. Does that sound right?
That's the one.
Kyle Amoroto.
Remember that name, folks.
Yep. 19.
Remember that name right there.
Tiffany's my good fact checker. I like Tiffany in the chat.
Kyle Amoroto is the guy. What everyone's talking about in the Philippines.
So world champion next 4 years.
I've only seen him vaguely, but let's see if he even plays a world championship. The
Right.
problem you've got is that it's not easy for these guys to get visas.
Yeah, that's true. But someone like that, they'd make the effort, right? Move.
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah, I'm guessing I'm pretty sure we'll see him on the international scene sooner or later.
Yeah, I mean, Federer got a green card. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's different for Europe. I mean, yeah, it's different for Europeans.
Yeah, very much.
Obviously, there's been problems with Russia, but I think Fedor was already on the ball before
Yeah,
everything's kicked off. What's been kicking off?
yeah.
But yeah, it's very, very difficult, as we've seen with Denis Okolo and guys like that for the Filipinos, just because it's a poor country, isn't it? So
Yeah, very tough. That's why we've not seen him in the States.
yep, and he's
6-1.
Moritz is flying here,
Wow.
and we haven't seen much of Chung play really. It's not. I'm not sat here thinking, oh, he's playing bad here.
Maybe just a couple of decision decision errors, or the jump shot he played was pretty loose.
I know there's another tournament going on at the same time here in Michigan, and that's why there's probably 3 players not here, what you probably consider in the top 8 in the world. But the problem you've got is that there's 20 world champions here to make up for that. And every time it's the same. There's always players missing from a tournament, and people say, yeah, but so-and-so was not there. I says, well, that's been the same for the last 15, 20 years. There's always players missing from a tournament.
Yeah, through one reason or another.
But you still got to beat 25 other world champions anyway, so it's just as tough or strong. I mean, it's like Joshua Filler's not here, but you don't really notice it because there's still loads of world champions still here.
Formats are different too. I prefer the longer races. So if I had to pick an event, I would pick the one with the race to 9 versus the race to 4, for instance.
Yeah, and obviously the big carrot for most of the players here is the Matchroom rankings.
Correct.
And also it's just down the road from the next tournament.
Yeah. No, they've had 2 or 3 good tournaments back to back, haven't they?
And plus it's Jason. The tournaments hosted by Jason Shaw, so that's a big kicker also.
Chef Shaw.
So the players want to support his pool room and support him. Obviously, he's a very popular figure on the pool scene.
Yeah, he's a character, isn't he?
Wherever you go, he's there. He's one of those guys. Wherever you go, he's there. You don't have to look for him. Even if you're in Vegas, in the middle of nowhere, or in a big casino, and there's like thousands of people,
you can hear him.
You see him or bump into him somehow. It's like there's like 10 Jason Shaws in Las Vegas or something.
Didn't you say a few years back he was one of the hardest workers, in terms of he could just play on the table 10 hours a day and not feel it.
Yeah, he used to never be off the table. It's like most of these young guys are the same though. And Jason was one of those. He just probably a little bit less these days, but he still puts enough work in to compete.
That's right.
But he does have other interests away from pool now, which is good, and that's what you need, especially when you get to your 30s.
You need a business, don't you?
Yeah.
He needs a retirement plan.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't last forever.
Co's got to turn the screw. I think he's got to finish these now. I don't think he can afford too many more mistakes.
Yeah, he's got to play more or less perfect pool from now on, and he's capable of doing that, and he's done it before, so he knows he can do it. He won't be panicking. 6-1, 6-2, get the break.
Do you think, just because of the 6 to the 7, do you think he entertains the 6-9?
The 6-9?
Do you think he entertains it, or do you think it's fairly easy to get 6-7?
Definitely entertains it, but I don't think
He's
he's
on the wrong
landed
side,
good on the 5. I think he probably played to do that, but he's come a little bit straight on the 5 here. Well, obviously, his cue ball's so good, the 7 does go in the side and it goes in one of the corners, or even the opposite side middle. So it depends what angle he leaves there.
Yeah, another one that can just switch hands at will.
Look at this here. Leaves a bigger angle than what you would think he would leave, but he's not worried about that.
He could play it for the middle. Or will he come? Will he try and hug the left side?
I think this is a safer option, playing the right-hand side as we look at the 7, because then you're guaranteed a shot on the 7. Yeah. If you come down the left-hand side where he's standing, if you over-hit that ball, you can get funny or snooker yourself.
Yeah, he played the open table, right?
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, this should be no problem for him. He just roll forward.
Yeah, this is nice. He needed to take that opportunity. Can't let Moritz have it all his own way.
Yeah, it's amazing how time flies. I remember playing Chung in 2009 at the World 10 Ball Championships. I drew him in the first round. I think he was about 12 then. And I beat him like 9-8, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. I hope I'm not going to see him too much.
That's like Filler, wasn't it? What was Filler when he first joined the Euro Tour? Was he
Same
11?
thing, yeah. But I mean,
11,
Coping Chung, I mean, he was so small, it was unbelievable. It was frightening. The Cue was bigger than him, and I'm like, struggled to beat him, and I was on top of my game then. I'm thinking, wow, this kid's unbelievable.
That's why I always say
Yeah.
experience can beat youth sometimes.
Well, yeah, maybe on that occasion, but 14 years later, here he is, and he still doesn't look much different.
True.
Yeah,
And
I'm guessing he's what, like 30 years old now?
Yeah, he's
You
no,
would never
he's,
believe
he's,
it, would
he's,
you?
no, he's no more than that. I mean, he could still be 12. I don't know.
Yeah,
It must be nice. Never a shaven life, I tell you.
14 years. Yeah, I'm guessing he's got to be late 20s, 30 years old.
It has to be. I mean, how old's Coping?
Yeah,
He's
it'd be like
sort of late
30.
30s, right?
No,
Mid-30s?
No. I'd probably say 30, 33 to 35.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember playing him back in them days. He was probably early 20s.
They've made themselves a good brand, haven't they?
Oh,
You
yeah,
know, in
they're
terms of
funny as well.
yeah,
They're funny. They're funny without realising it.
Yeah, Chung is
But-
28.
Yeah, just with how they act and their demeanour and everything.
They're great.
And they're doing their videos. I don't think they're trying to be funny. They just naturally come across that way,
It's come
especially towards Westerners. So they're entertaining to watch, yeah. And they're really nice people. They're very polite. And you never see any issues with them. You know, on the table, there's never no issues. Or he's bad call, or he's done this, or he's tried to pull a move. There's never had any issues. Never seen any issues with either of them. And their brother, their young brother, who was actually a really good dart player.
Is it
Copenhagen,
right?
Copenhagen, yeah. He was like a semi-professional dart player.
Really?
Yeah, but I think because he wanted to spend so much time with his brothers, because all three of them are glued to the hip. There might be triplets.
Triplets born apart.
Yeah, I think he just wants to be with his brothers, so I think that's why he stopped playing darts.
I got them wrong, but Baby Co, Little Co, and Big Co, right?
Yeah.
That's them.
Yeah. And they actually, all three of them look a little bit different. So you won't really think, oh, these three are brothers.
Yeah, you might.
It's, yeah, because of the hair,
Because
the hairstyle.
yeah, someone said he'd brushed his hair today, so he's playing better. What would you do here, Daz?
Well, he's pushed out, so he's left the edge of the two. Can he bank it across and get the cue ball down table?
Right.
Right, so he's pointed his cue ball near the 4 and the 8 here, so I'm not too sure what he's going to play here.
I'm about to learn something.
Unless he's really spinning the cue ball. That looks difficult to do that. Oh, he did do it. Wow, nice shot. I didn't think that was quite there.
Yeah, I just learned something.
I'll tell you what, he's rather been very, very unlucky, which I think he has.
God.
I mean, that's just brutal if he's left that gap there.
I mean, he's played that with the slide on the table. He's played that shot perfectly, hasn't he?
And he had to play at that speed to get it down there.
Right.
So he didn't quite know where the two ball... He was actually probably half-heartedly trying to make the two off the two rails also.
Yeah, half-heartedly, I get it.
And I think he's been brutally unlucky here if he's left his shot. And he has. I'm pretty sure he has. So
I mean,
that's very unfortunate.
Moritz is already looking where he wants a cue ball, so he's actually going to jump this.
Yeah, slightly jumping.
And then
For these guys, that's not a problem.
withdraw. You kidding me?
Might scratch.
Wow.
No,
Well,
it's
he's gonna
okay.
He's going to get lucky.
Got lucky, but the 4 doesn't pass the 8. And what's the angle on the 3 like?
Yeah, true.
You might have to play a carom or a combination on the 4-8 or play safe after the 3. Well, this is where you need a little bit of luck. On another day, if things are not going your way, you scratch in the corner there.
Do you just roll this in and maybe play the carom on the 8?
Possibly, but it looks like
Looks like
the
it's sitting.
carom's a lot of distance, but it depends how you're feeling, I think.
It looks like it's sitting nice if the cue ball sits on the right line. I think this is safety coming up, right?
There's definitely no carom.
Well, it's a combo now, isn't it?
Combos probably, I don't know. Depends how good you are at them. There's some people are great at them, some people not so great.
I don't think it offers much positional value, though.
But he does have good safety. He can roll forward, get the 4 maybe up table, the cue ball behind the 8.
It's an under-practice shot, this stun forward, where you can just stun it forward.
Yeah, he's played it safe and he's played it bad.
Ooh, no good.
Because the key to that shot is to make sure you get the cue ball.
The overhead looks like he's got it.
I don't think he's got it, but the pink 4 doesn't pass the 7.
Right.
And I don't think he can see enough of it to cut it in the middle, which is probably not the shot anyway. So he's either got the cut into the top right, as we look on our screens, which he's looking at.
I've seen Co absolutely rip these in and get perfect shape on the 6.
And tough shots these are. But
Oh
so
my
again,
God.
just made it look easy.
Oh my
And believe me, they're not
God.
easy.
Uh,
I can't even see that shot no more.
Oh, I can see it. I just can't play it.
Yeah, execute. He played it like as if it's just
a hanger,
big
right?
favourite to make that shot.
See, I thought he was
tough
gonna.
shot.
I thought he was going to draw one off the rail. He actually went forward. Played it perfect. Played it with high ball.
That's all them hours of practice, that is.
Yeah.
And having good fundamentals.
Having good siblings that are like good Fargos. Yeah. It's the same as like the Pia Filler and Josh Filler stuff, right? Hit that one for me.
Yeah.
God.
And this is game on again, Del.
It is, isn't it? He's back in the hunt. He's feeling it. And Moritz really has. He hasn't made many mistakes. Made maybe one error. That's maybe his first or second error. Crazy. You're getting asked a question there by Laura. She said, "Do you like the use of jump cues, Des?"
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. A great debate. What's going on in the pool world for quite some time now. My take on it, I don't know what yours is, Del, is that I think it should be a little bit like tennis, where you get free challenges. And I think pool should be the same, where we get free jump shots per match, not tournament. Because then it brings a different element to the game. It brings more talking points to the game.
Agreed.
You're going to see all skills of the game. You're going to see more kicking, players having to learn more kicking and all that stuff. But you're going to use your jump shots wisely, where to me the equipment's too good, right? Where it's just so easy to jump now. Even for someone like me who was never, I was never a jump shot player, right? But now I've had to become a jump shot player because otherwise you get left behind. And I think the equipment's too easy. I'd love to see it where, and you can have it on the screen where he has like the 3 beats at the bottom of your name,
The
and
3
it says
dots
like
or something. Yeah.
you have 1 left or 2 left, and that brings a good talking points. Or will he use his jump cue or not? And I think that'd be a good introduction to the game.
I got to agree with you. You were one of the first pioneers to kind of test out. You know, you were only allowed to jump if your opponent hooked you, right?
I forgot about that.
At the WPS, the World Pool Series, you couldn't if you put yourself in a hook. If you caused the safe, you weren't allowed to use a jump.
Yeah.
But if your opponent put you in,
Yep.
I thought that was a great variation.
Yeah, people loved it.
They did, but it never took hook. I don't know what
Nobody's ever listened to me.
But I do like that element. I think that could work on TV. You know, it could TV extra bit of pressure.
Well, you have to keep the jump cue because of the manufacturers.
Yeah, you do.
There's too much money in the jump industry. Let's say
so many variations and tips and chalk and everything, right?
Definitely. I mean, and you got to think of the products and you got to think of the manufacturers who do put a lot of money into the game. Even though, obviously, eventually we have to look after the people that look after the game and the players, right? But obviously, eventually, we want to get corporate sponsors and major sponsors like Nike and all them lot. But that's in the future. But we still need all these cue manufacturers because without the cue manufacturers, we're all screwed, basically.
Yeah, agreed.
Literally, because we'd have no cue unless you start making them yourself.
But they're investing as well.
And they invest a lot of money in the game. The cue. I've got respect for all cue manufacturers because I've started to get involved a little bit on that side. So you realise the work what goes into these things. It's just amazing.
You see the shot he played prior there. I think he actually broke out the 5. I think it goes now.
Yep.
So you can see he's got a little spring in his step.
But you got to be careful with these shots when they are tight. It's so easy to not just focus on making the 5 ball because that 8 ball's in your high line. So you got to really bear down and think, right, just make the 5 in the middle of the pocket. Don't think about anything else.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because you'd be amazed how many times you see amateurs end up hitting the 8 ball there.
Or flick
because they're worried about it.
Or flick the near jaw, overcutting it.
Or overcut it,
Yeah, I've got to agree with you, mate. Have you got your own line of cues coming out with Tiger, or?
Yes and no. I've got my own line of cues coming out, but it'll be next year.
Okay.
But they're not made by Tiger, but I will be with Tiger still.
Okay.
But I'm just bringing my own line of cues out. I'll have like 5 or 6 different models, so I'm really excited about that.
Oh, congrats, mate. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. A bit of low range, but be average between $100 to $600. So very affordable.
It's a cue for everyone nowadays, isn't there? 200 up to 20,000.
Yeah, well, I think the way I look at it is that you've got people in the game spending crazy amounts of money on equipment, but they don't pay money to get a lesson,
Right.
which doesn't make sense to me. So it should be the other way: get a lesson first and get to a decent level, and then decide what's how much you want to spend on equipment. Really,
I think that the game has changed slightly, and I'll say this because in this era of YouTube and things like this, there's so much content available online that some players, don't get in-person coaching anymore. And I'm actually a big advocate of watching as much as possible. So whenever I'm alone or the missus goes out and I'm watching on YouTube, I'm watching the available content. I'm probably about 10,000 hours in just watching Paul right now. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know what you're saying. It's unbelievable.
Because I think you can
content.
learn. You can learn from there. This is why people are tuned in. It's not.
I learn watching YouTube, watching all these great instructors like is it Tor? What's his name? Can't remember his last name. I really like his stuff. The Russian guy. There's loads of tuition stuff on there. Even Dr. Dave, all these guys.
They're interesting,
Niels.
aren't they? Niels is good.
I enjoy watching all these guys, and I learn something off everyone. And like I say, even though I think I've got a lot of knowledge of the game, you never stop learning, and you can take that into your own game or your own videos. And there's loads of content out there now, so
It's
that's
free.
why the guys are getting so good so quickly, because the information's out there and it's free.
Information, exactly right. Yeah.
Well, that was never there when I first started playing.
Well, you had to buy a DVD or a VHS, didn't you?
I'll go to the Philippines.
Break it all. Live there for 3 months.
Yeah. Well, that's even better. If you can do it in person, that's even better.
Of course.
You can watch as much as you want, but to really understand the game, you really want to be getting lessons one-on-one with top coaches. You learn so much.
Yeah, someone just mentioned Shivari there. He's probably the most well-known on YouTube.
Yeah, Savari, yeah, is really good.
Yeah, so we're in a golden age of it right now, and I think with those elements that you've mentioned, the equipment being better, the availability of information, the coaching, all of those elements together.
Yeah, and it looks like it's not that difficult to put all these videos together, the graphics, everything else. Yeah, everyone's having a go, and there's a lot of good stuff out there.
I remember the Break and Run DVD series you guys were on.
Yeah, that was probably.
Was it
one of the
Melling
first
as well?
Yeah,
Raj?
Yeah, Raj. Yeah.
Rodney?
Mika.
Mika? They were funny.
So big rack here for Moritz. Got back to 6-4 from 6-1. Well, now he's got a nice open table.
Needs to keep that cushion, doesn't he? That 2 to 3 racks. Yeah. Just keep Ko at bay.
And that's the thing, is that you always know your opponent's capable of getting back into the game 3 or 4 racks, but with Moritz, you just got to stay patient, because you've got to think you'd have to be very unlucky to not get another opportunity.
Agreed.
And so when he gets it, just make sure you keep that cushion. So 7-4 and you're breaking again. Yeah, Tall Lowry, I like his stuff.
Tall Lowry, that's the one. He's managed the angle here nicely. I don't see a problem here. So he's going to get himself up to 7. Nice and easy. Doesn't want to be straight. Doesn't want to be straight.
Yep.
Can just draw it back to his chalk though, can't he? No? Or forward?
Could do. Force draw.
Force draw.
Force punch draw, or just go forward.
Yeah, he's going to go try and come above it by the looks of it. That was a confident stroke.
Well, that's confidence in the table and knowing the table also. So, yeah, played that beautiful.
Yeah, very nice. Let's see. Again, he was a little bit stretched on the last one, and I've seen him miscue with the extension on. At a key moment, he made a miscue in a previous match. Not the same here. So again, nice. The crowd is really respectful there. You see the VIP tables and the bleachers on the right. Bleachers have probably got a better view than the VIP.
Yeah.
You don't get the service there. You don't get the food.
Yeah, and the food is really good here, and the stuff.
There's a kid sat there on the bleachers with his mum there in the pink.
Oh,
He's being coached down at Society Billiards in Manhattan right now.
Oh, okay.
And begged his mum to come up here today. He said, "Mum, take me up to Connecticut." So she's now got a day out, a forced day out.
Yeah, I think I met those two at the expo recently.
That's right. They've been down there traveling all over. He's a good young talent, that kid. He was playing with Skylar and Billy on the outer tables as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I see Elliot Sanderson in the crowd from the UK. He's a traveling touring player these days.
He's going to
Playing all the events.
Canada. He's going to Wisconsin, sponsored by Jacoby.
Yeah, he's getting around, trying to get his education and improve his game.
It's the only way to do it, isn't it? Is to
Yeah.
travel. And think about it. That's what Jason did.
Mm. Yeah, Jason, he'd been in America quite some time now.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I spent some time on the road with him back in 2012.
Yeah, yeah, and Phil Burford.
Phil Burford, Adam Shaw, and me.
Mm.
I learned a lot just in that.
How long have you been over here now?
It's my 9th year.
Mm.
Yeah, New York. I want to move back though. I want to move back.
What, to UK?
Yeah, one day. I want to retire there. I couldn't retire in New York.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Too expensive. Unless I go on Matchroom Pro Tour, you know. Outside the top 60.
Nice shot here, look at this.
I'll be like Happy Gilmore with the big check at the end.
Mhm.
Where's my giant check?
Mhm.
Yeah, this last place, sir. Last place.
Does this cut?
It does, yeah. I think it cuts, but I'm wondering if he can maybe spin it. It can get on the left side of the...
Did he miss the 4?
Yeah, he did.
Just.
Perfect. How good is he? Oh, wow.
Yeah, killed that nicely. It's like one of them little quit strokes, but not quit.
Yeah, quick.
It's a tough one to explain, that one.
Yeah, I mean, he could have run into the 8, but you know, you don't want to bump balls unless you have to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great tip there. Don't bump balls unless you need to. Sometimes you need to, so you just got to practice them. It's important to practice kissing into balls, but also knowing your angles.
Yeah, I mean,
And I think F and Reyes was the best ever at those type of shots.
Yeah, I know you're a big advocate for straight pull as well.
Mm.
And that's another one that you'll learn how to break clusters and continue.
Yeah, and 8-ball.
8-ball too.
8-ball straight pull, very connected games in my opinion.
I love my 8-ball.
Yeah, on the right equipment.
Yeah, not on massive Brunswick.
Oh, so Teng is 7-5 up on Shane now. Wow.
Well, remember Teng beat Raga.
No, I'm not surprised at all. I'm just because people think because Shane won 10-0, he's run 7 racks. That's it. The tournament's over, right? But every game, how can you double up and do that again?
Yeah,
I mean, it's very, very unlikely that's going to happen again. And the problem is that, like we said before, there's 20 guys what can do the same thing. They probably just can't do it as consistently.
Yeah, Shane's one of them that can do it consistently.
Oh, definitely.
But you kind of see the type of shot that Moritz just played. You know,
Yeah.
the guy's in such good form right now.
Mm.
He just pumped that ball cross table, and he's finished 6 to 8 inches away from the 8.
Yeah. I mean, he should make this, but he has left it a little bit tougher than what he would like.
Good pre-shot, isn't he?
Great free foot and a nice deep breath.
Yeah, and just you can see
Stepped into the shot.
mechanics are great. And a nice round of applause.
Yeah, he's on a good run into. He's obviously finished second in the World Cup pool. He's had some other high finishes. He come off last week. He lost in the final, 13-12 against Carlo Biardo from 10-4. Should have won, but
Yeah.
it hasn't let it affect him. And now he's here in the final 8, 2 racks away from a place in the semi-final in probably a slightly tougher field than last week, I would say.
I think so. I think this is a slightly...
Don't get me wrong, like last week was tough also, but I think this is obviously you got likes of Shane Van Boening here, Jason here, the Cole brothers. So yeah, I think and
definitely stronger. There's less
Chang
players,
Yulong. Yeah, there's definitely a slightly stronger field here this week.
It's a stronger 64 than they had 96. So,
Yeah.
and I think the conditions here are definitely better.
Yeah. Yeah, no disrespect to the old Brunswick tables, but the new Razon tables get my vote.
Yeah, they're very cost effective too. I mean, for under $5,000, that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean a good kind of intermediate table.
There you go with that delayed draw break. I need to really work on that for the US Open.
They figured it out, didn't they?
It's just massive, isn't it? But will he get away with that break, though, in the matchroom events? Because they do warn you for hitting them too soft. And that's definitely on the soft side.
Again, it's down to interpretation.
Yeah, exactly. And
Like
but
what,
you do see these
interpret?
referees warning the players. I'm thinking, so then it forces you to hit them hard.
If you're going to do that, give them speed guns. You know what I mean?
Exactly. How do you determine what's soft and hard when
Exactly.
everyone's got different power? I mean, I can't break the balls as hard as I used to do because of what's happened to me.
True.
So that's going to be my card.
Yeah. You've said it on air now, mate. That's it.
Well, it's true, though.
I've taken note. Don't listen to Darren.
I've got the card in my pocket.
Yeah. Oh wow. So
That's what he's come out good as well, right?
look at this.
So this year, just that winning that one rack, stopping the momentum. He's got the momentum back, and this is why winner break's massive.
It's huge, isn't it? I mean, he had the confidence there to arc the cue ball around the 8.
Do you prefer winner break or alternate break?
It's an age-old discussion, but I'm actually a fan of alternate break.
Yeah, me too.
Just because as a player, as a spectator, winner breaks. As a player, alternate break.
Yeah.
Because then, I need the opportunity to showcase my break,
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if Coping Chung's played good or bad in this match, and this is what really frustrates me with winner break.
Exactly, because there's such long periods where he might be sat down.
Well, he has done. I'm guessing 60% of these racks have been break and runs from Moritz.
Agreed.
So I don't know if Coping Chung's played great or not in this match, and that really frustrates me. I think it's like tennis. You've got to have a serve.
That's what I'm saying. There's no other sport out there or game. Golf. You both get to tee off.
Yeah, exactly. You both should get the same opportunity. At least try and level it up as much as possible, and then it's down to yourself when it comes to the break. I mean, there's some luck on the break, of course, but at least if you know how to break, unless you get very unlucky, you're going to have a shot, whether it's a push out or whatever.
I mean, I used to talk to Earl, and if you can, if you can talk to Earl, there's some pearls that come out of him, right?
Oh yeah.
And he has this format where you both get the opportunity to break and run. You know what I mean? I think it's a great format for TV.
Definitely, yeah.
You break and run them out, and then I'll break and run them out, and then you can grade it based on who got the more balls, or.
Yeah, I mean, I just think you should get your opportunity at the table, like tennis. You serve, and then I serve. Blah blah.
Yeah.
Because pool is very much like that. If you've got the break, it's a huge advantage.
It's massive. It is massive, and like you say, the ones that figure out the break quicker. Like these guys have, they've got a huge advantage.
Well, it's like I said earlier. I mean, Lee Van's got to the final 16. He's probably walked in the room today. He might have been feeling unbelievable, feeling absolutely perfect. Oh, I'm on top of my game. Today could be my day. And he sits there for 10 racks. He might have played one shot in 10 racks, right?
Very true.
Which is just ridiculous, in my opinion.
Very true.
It's like Federer playing Nadal, and Federer gets to serve every game. Right? So unless you break his serve, you're not going to serve, right? I mean, you can't win.
Very true.
Right? You can't win. So if you're playing win a break and one guy just obviously gets his break going, you might not shoot. So Levan's lost 10-0 and he's come off the table. Obviously, he's seen it all before, so it's nothing new to him. But he's thinking like,
but
this is nonsense.
You're $5,000 in expenses before you've even arrived.
Exactly.
But you need the opportunity to play.
Yeah, he's on his way to the US Open now. I'm thinking, well, this could happen again in 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm playing the best pull of my life right now, but nobody knows.
So you have to be mentally tough too, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why I said on my post last night, pool is the toughest game in the world. I don't care what anyone says. Not saying it's the most difficult game to play.
First mistake, Moritz.
Oh yeah. But mentally, it's in my opinion, it's by far the toughest game in the world. It's not even close to anything.
Yeah, I've often said that it's 60% mental, 30% is talent, skill, and then 10% luck.
Yeah. It's just mental. It's just crazy.
I think it's like that.
You've got to be somewhat special to play this game for a living and be successful. I really do believe that.
Agreed.
Because you can play golf and play it to be 100 ranked in the world and you're making $1 million a year. Tennis is the same. Soccer is the same.
True.
American football's the same.
True.
It's just unbelievable that they get paid for being average. Really.
Average.
At that level, I mean.
Very true.
But it's just pull. The guy what's number 17 in the world is probably broke.
It's awful, isn't it? But they are creating a platform for it now, and we're starting to see it. And I think over the next 5 years, you'll see career pool players coming back.
Oh, definitely. Oh, it's definitely improving, but it needs to massively improve.
Yeah, it does. But they'll get over the hurdle with the WPA. I think every federation has got involved at some point when they've been happened in darts, didn't it? Happened to PDC and all that. Happened in snooker.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going to take time, but hopefully we get there.
True.
The guy here, I'd rather play snooker than these pockets are like Grand Canyon. Well, the problem you got, Andrew Downs, is that you've seen a lot of snooker players play on these tables and they can't make a ball. So
Yeah,
figure that out.
It's a different style altogether. I don't think you can play both, honestly, to a high standard.
Well, we showed that. I mean, Judd Trump missed about 55 balls in 2 matches last year at the US Open.
Equipment's different.
Yeah.
Style's
It's
different.
different hit a ball.
Different hit. But yeah, you're hearing all these variations. People that don't know Darren, you know, he dominated for a good 10 years in this game. So it's always great to hear his opinion. Great to hear his, the lessons and experience that these younger players coming up have to really pay homage to, in my opinion. And players that we're seeing now, obviously, and the likes of Moritz and Filler, they've all been watching these guys, over the last 10, 15 years. It's insane.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and the good thing with alternate break is that you're going to see a lot closer matches.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
I'm not saying he hasn't had shots here, Koping Chung, but he's not had easy openers, or he's coming to the table where he's snookered, or he's safe all the time. You know what I mean? It's hard to get the momentum back.
Here's the thing: as a spectator and someone that's sat down watching the stream, there's a potential here that he didn't scratch, but he's got no shot.
Yeah.
He has the potential to come back and win the next 5 and win the set.
Definitely. Yeah.
What
do you do here? Do you just roll onto the 9?
I might play the very negative safety.
Well, I'd roll onto it, but make sure you roll onto it so that the cue ball and the 9 ball are sort of facing the rail.
He was very lucky to make it.
Right. So you've got to put the cue ball right on top of the 9 ball here.
I mean, I'm 9-4. Do I go for it? It's the
Well, I
long.
think this is crazy.
Is he going for it?
Yeah. This is a wrong shot.
Whoom.
It's a wrong shot. It's just absolute suicidal shot.
Shake hands, and that's a frustration shot, isn't it?
Yep. Makes no sense at all playing that shot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Moritz is very happy. A very happy young man in another semi-final. It's been a pleasure to commentate with you, Del.
Pleasure, mate. Always. I love seeing you travelling around in the US, and hopefully see you down at Atlantic City.
Yep.
I'll come the
Yeah,
weekend.
it's my second home, so it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be spending a lot of time in America again. Probably 50% of my time will be in the States.
Yeah. So, what do we think the next matches are? What's the semi-final looking like?
All right, so next matches should be coming up soon. We're going to be taking a break. We don't have any times yet, but I'm guessing the next hour or so. And updated scores, Shane is tied at 8-8.
Wow.
And let's see, Chang Yu Lung has defeated Raga. So
Chang.
that's one match in the books.
So after going hill with Billy, was it hill with Billy? Oh no, that was different.
It was. I think Billy did go hill.
Oh, it was just off one off the hill.
No, it was
up?
10-8. 10-8.
10-8. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, one off the hill. Well, yeah, I got the scores right here.
Yeah,
8-10.
and the what's his face? Chang. He missed a great chance to win 10-7 as well.
He was unseeded. Remember, unseeded in this event.
Yeah, I mean that's just unbelievable. But the same with Chang Yu Lung. Chang Yu Lung's not seeded at US Open,
Really?
right? One of the best players in the world because he's not been active on the international scene.
Wow.
Oh, there's floaters in that US Open. It's like if Wu Chia-Ching was playing
Yeah.
and Chang Yu Lung
He'd be unseeded
and Jingling Chang. That's 3 of the best players in the world who you might, let's say, Ruaz could draw in the first round, or any top seeded 64 player. So it's just, well, that's the pool we'll speak about in the commentary, is that you don't always get the best players in the tournaments because
True.
pool is so global. We all think we know who the top 20 players in the world are, but there's probably another 20 players floating around in Malaysia
Yeah.
and Singapore who we don't know about.
Yeah.
And eventually, when the game gets more financially doable and we all can make money
Stable,
from it,
yeah.
like the big sports, then you're going to see 50 unbelievable great players, and the standard is just going to keep rising and rising. And then what will happen is that other players from different sports will start trying their hand, like Chinese pool, snooker, English
they will.
pool. And trust me, there's plenty of good players what will do well at this game if they put the work in.
That's what I mean. They have to switch full time. I got to agree. Can we see Shane's table at all or no? I think there's a couple of people. Maybe we can watch the end of the Shane match.
Yeah, let me try to transition over there. It's going to take me a hot second.
No
We'll get it
worries.
done in a minute.
And big shout out to the Big Apple Extreme. I mean, obviously, where the guy's talking, but these guys, I think this stream is as good as anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, Mad Apple Extreme, right?
I mean, it's unbelievable. The quality, the setup they got here, And yeah, these guys work for peanuts, so make sure you support them. And they're from Appleton, which makes them even nicer and better. And believe it or not, when it's not cold there, it is a beautiful part of the country.
All right. Oh, here we go. Is this it? This is Tay, right? Or 10?
This, yeah, I gotta take off the scoreboard. But this looks like Shane's table.
Okay.
Yeah, well, are we staying to do this?
I mean, mate, you got time? Are we going to stick
I'm
on?
all right. Have you got time?
Yeah, of course. The bar's not moving.
Yeah, it would have been nice to get some more coffee, but there we go. We can't have everything, can we?
And this match right now is 8-8.
These boys
Just
are
to
good.
give you guys a heads up. We're at 8-8. Shane at the table.
Is there any coffee at the back still? No? Might be able to get another cup for you, mate. Just for Dad, yeah, if there was one. So Shane's actually got himself way back into this match, right? So he was, oh, wow, what a shot. Just as I said that, he was...
And that's all because he was thinking about the cue ball. He had to overspin the cue ball, and he forgot to make the one ball. And I've been guilty of that many times.
So you're at 8-8 currently.
But he's left him tricky here because he can make the one, but getting shape on the two ball is very, very difficult.
I think that's the first positive thing Gerard said. Thanks for the table. Thanks for the free stream, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Is that mine?
Yes, for you, mate. Yeah.
Tell you what, this stream's awesome.
Time to get you a coffee. Just go ask.
Yeah, and when I went down to their place at the Mad Apple, he never got me one coffee. Unbelievable.
Yeah, 10's got it.
Oh, he's missed it.
This has got to be nerves. This is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and that shot there wasn't difficult because he was playing for the bank on the two ball, which was the right shot. And if you look at the bank on the two ball, the cue ball would have naturally come round for the free,
Yep.
as long as you don't get hooked behind the 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine Shane might try the same shot here, try and make the one and play for the bank. But can he hold it?
Do you think it goes by the 4? Maybe if he comes long on it?
What can he get there?
Yeah, he's going to play it slow.
Wow, look at this.
Got a touch on him. And he's covered it.
Yep. He
Maybe
played for the bank as well, though. Never easy when you're slow rolling them, Dell, like that
Oh, it isn't.
from distance.
If I was going to bet anyone that could do it, though, it'd be Shane. He loves slow rolling the ball.
All right, we got the score up on the board.
Oh, wow, look at that. We've even got a score in. Jeez, you guys are quick.
So he's going to kick at this. This is a short side kick, so it's tricky. You've got to make sure you execute this one. What I mean by that is that the cue ball's close to the rails hitting, so it's harder to judge. So you might play a little draw here.
Think you put pace on it?
Yeah, just a little draw, just like that.
Oh, wow.
Nicely
What a shot.
played.
Cue ball's tracking away, though. Tracking away. It's gonna fudge.
Yeah, you got to say that's very unfortunate.
Jump cross bank.
Yeah, never even thought about that, but yeah, these days
have
that's
to.
probably the right shot.
Yeah, I'm telling you. 10,000 hours in.
Yeah, that's living in New York. That.
I'd be thinking about that, you know.
No, he's kicking it. Just around the back of the 9, between the 4 and the 9. Good hit. Will he get lucky? Will he get lucky?
I've not really seen
No.
this guy play too much.
I've actually played him a couple of times. He's a good player.
What's his
A
home
good,
country?
steady player. And I'm guessing he's probably around the same age as me, mid to late 40s.
Is it another Chinese Taipei?
Yep.
I mean, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 players, Chinese Taipei, still in it. Very
Yeah,
strong.
he's been around quite some time, but he's like lived in the shadows of the other guys, let's say. But when he's hitting the ball nicely, he's very good on the high. But when he's not on his game, then he just doesn't look the part, let's say. But when he's playing well, he's a handful.
Yeah, and I think he's showcasing it here. I mean, he's already played and beat a couple of great players.
Oh, he plays great. The only thing I'd probably his weakness is probably his mental side of the game.
Oh, right, okay.
So I guess that's why he's not really kicked on and won anything major. But yes, he's a very, very good player.
Oh, very good. Shane's going to get to the hill first, though, by the looks of it.
And these are the matches you got to escape, Del. If you're going to win tournaments, you're always going to have 1 or 2 matches where you probably should have got beat, could have got beat, and you escape.
8-5 down, he should really get beat, right?
Yeah, especially when you got the other guys got the break as well.
And win a break share.
So yeah, you need a bit of luck, and this is the little bit of luck what Shane's had by his opponent helping him out. Not saying he's been lucky within the game, but you need a bit of help from your opponent.
Yeah, definitely so. And this single elimination format for the last 16, I think I prefer it It's not just for speed, but I think it adds a little bit more pressure to it too.
Yep. Didn't play the best shot there, but shouldn't be no problem.
Yeah, nicely done.
What's him on the hill? Oh, no, 9-9?
Is it 9-8?
I've lost
9-9.
it here.
Sorry. We're on the wrong side, mate. There we go.
I'm on the wrong side. Confusing the pool will.
I marked it wrong. I just fixed it. Sorry about that.
That's their first error. We'll let them off.
Tang can play. These commentators really don't keep up with Paul. We didn't say he can't play. Obviously, he's a great player. He's just not consistently won tournaments.
And he's not on the scene.
I played the guy. I know how good he plays.
Yeah, I'm just saying I haven't seen him in the US too much.
Yeah. He's obviously a world-class player. There's no doubt about that. I ain't going to be jumping out of this commentary box and telling him, do you want to play for a few thousand right now? That's how good he plays.
I mean, you probably offered Gerard a 7 out, couldn't you? 6 out. I'd probably give him a 6 out based on those comments.
Well, the way Gerard looks like he's a top tier player, so I'm not going to challenge him. And I haven't seen him in person. He might be 7 foot tall and pick me up by his left arm or his left finger.
No, I just there's no reason to get agitated in the chat, guys. This is all all being done out the good spirit of our heart.
Constructive,
very constructive, exactly. So,
it's very fine details between Shane Van Boening and let's say Del Sim.
Very.
Right? There's different levels, but very, very close levels. It's just you're talking like a ball, or maybe he does this a little bit better, or he's a slightly stronger mentally. That's all it is. And that's the difference between these top tier boys and us just average pool players.
Very true. Very true.
Oh, good pool players.
Yeah. No, I understand it. I'm only having fun. And that's all we want to do while we're here.
And Neil Strickland should be the main commentator, not these clueless dudes. But you are right. Compared to Will Strickland, we are clueless.
We got no clue. The man's a genius.
Well, I definitely agree with that, James. 100%. I mean, Hill, he's like a dictionary.
This is a hanger, isn't it? Is it a hanger?
They make this, and then we go hill.
This is it.
Draw back about 2 feet. Hanger this shot. Told you.
Oh, you nearly made it. Are you kidding me?
He played a two-way shot.
Very nice. Imagine if he made it, though. It's even on the 3.
Well, to play pool for a living, Vinny, I think we all lose our marbles a little. Just some more than others.
Can Shane see this? Can you see it? Can you see an edge of it?
If you can see the edge, but I don't think you can see it to make it in the side pocket. So he might play a two-way bank here. Maybe. Can he miss a 7 though?
I think he cut it in the corner, right?
Oh, really? I think you're right.
Yeah, cut it in the corner.
Missed it.
Oh, he's hit the corner.
It's a tough shot.
Yeah, but I think has he got away with it?
But on these pockets, was it a tough shot? Can you believe he's missed it?
I can't actually.
Has he left it? Has he left the edge of the 2 ball?
I think he's got the potting angle, you know. So I think we could be heading for hill.
Still a bit of work to do though.
Yeah, everything else is open. 4 to the 5, perhaps.
Yep. 5's a big shot, I think.
But you've just got to finish on the high side of it, haven't you? Or the low side of it, sorry, as we look.
Got a nice kiss there. The 7's could be a slight blocking natural path.
True. Very true.
So he needs to get good on this pink 4. Don't want to leave too much angle. And he's played that nicely. Because I don't think he can use a second rail here, Del. He's got to play 1 rail. So this is all about. Oh, does it? He's got
to smooth it.
The combination there. But I don't like that.
He's got to smooth it, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got to smooth it and get the right speed of the cue ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's 7. If the 7 wasn't there, he might go 2 rails, eh?
Definitely.
Yeah,
oh, I don't like that.
7's big. See,
I didn't like that. I don't understand that.
Upstate Al says that's like a beach ball. 7's like a beach ball in the middle of the table.
Yeah, I don't understand that shot. But he's still got a shot, and the 8 ball should help him if he decides to play with follow and hit it quite softly.
Slow the cue ball, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Or do you try and draw and get into the... Well, yeah, he's rolling it. Got to be a little bit careful here, though. The 8, he could get snookered behind the 8.
Yeah, he needs to give it enough of a bump, doesn't he? Needs to bump it in and out of bulk, which he's done.
Played it nice. But
Dead straight.
where's that 7 ball going?
It don't go in the side. It might go in the side, but he's got to be right behind it. He don't want to be on the rail, does he?
Yeah. That's because he bumped it. He didn't need to bump it. Does it go in the side?
I think it does.
What, from this
Yeah.
this short rail? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The side pockets are playing big.
I think he's playing rail first, Dale.
He's
Get closer to his work.
He's going to miss it. He's going
Big
to miss
pocket.
it. He's going to miss.
It should be okay. There you go.
Oh, he's paid for the bank.
Did he? He's not on it. Does it cut?
Well, we were about to find out. And we're only commentating from the angle we can see here. So only he knows. I think he has to play it because the bank's not on. Bank's way too short.
Yep, I think he's got to play safe here. So he's going to 2-rail the 7 and get the cue ball behind the 8. And the 7 onto the short rail. Yeah, this doesn't cut. I've played on this table.
Wow. It's
On
just
this
playing it
table,
safe.
but these tables, sorry.
I mean, he's played a pretty decent safe there, actually.
So Shane, I like how he's played it because he's made sure that he don't leave the bank.
I mean, the bank's on, isn't it?
Don't think so. Even if it is, I don't know.
Watch him absolutely pump this
We'll
one.
see.
I think he's made his decision. Nope. All right, fair one.
Oh,
How
lucky. Lucky. But it's got a bank shot, but what is the 8 ball makeable afterwards?
Wow.
But I think you got to go for the bank now. Just leave yourself a long shot on the 8. You don't want to get too clever and try and draw off 3 rails with this. Just make the bank and then worry about the 8 ball afterwards. No.
Playing at that
Tried
speed.
to be too greedy by trying to get shape on the 8, which makes the bank 3 times more difficult. So that's a big lesson for you guys watching there. Just give yourself a shot on the 8. Back yourself to make that long 8. Cut it in and come round the table.
Yeah, 8 was open, wasn't it?
And Shane comes to the table thinking, thank you very much, Mr. Ling. I'll love you a long time.
Oh, man. He's going to draw this back, and that's the end of the game. The bank was there for sure, but... And Shane, like you said, he escaped. I think he escaped this one, and you need that if you're going to pull off the title.
Yep, and they'll probably win the tournament now.
Yeah, well, it's been a pleasure, mate.
Yep.
I enjoyed chatting all things Paul.
Yep, even though nobody can understand us, and we're not
So we should
worthy
go.
of the job, but we do apologise. We tried our best as average pool players.
We'll
Hopefully we're back for the next match.
we'll go back to England, play snooker, mate.
Gentlemen, it was awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with the semifinals. Stick around, and we'll see you in a few.